Um,
I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
I'm still looking at it. It looks like it's still playing the replay right now, so not quite sure what's up with that. I'm just gonna keep refreshing until I actually see our stream, not the replay. Um, oh, okay. We're here.
I
We're
see it.
live. Perfect.
Yeah.
We were waiting for the we're waiting for my stream to override Hawkeye's stream, who was streaming the replay. So now we're live into this the picks and bans. This is Absolute Legends. Oh, I should probably turn my text noise off. This is Absolute Legends versus exHCL, and this is going to be a whole lot of fun here. If you guys were watching the replay, I apologize to cut it off. I mean, I'm pretty sure you would rather watch a live match than a rerun anyway. Spoilers: Teamless did win that game, and they ended up winning the match 2-0. So Teamless is going to advance to the round robin finals here in not here. I'm not in San Francisco right now, but in San Francisco. But this is going to be live. All the winners today you see between this match and the next match coming up right after this, which is CLG versus the new Epic, which will be a really fun game. Will Whoever wins these games will be able to go to San Francisco to get to the finals, the round robin, and have a chance at the $20,000 prize pool. Spoilers, sorry about that. But since in these rounds we're also doing 4 bans rather than just 3, so each team banned one champion back in the lobby, and Absolute Legends decided to ban Urgot, and exHCL decided to ban Nocturne. And then in addition to those, we also have Jax, Udyr, and Lee Sin banned out from Absolute Legends, and Morgana, Dr. Mundo, and Ari being banned out from exHCL. The first pickup, Shin. I mean, do you really think there's any kind of surprise there?
None at all. Shen's such a powerful hero, and the thing about first picking him is that he has a possibility of going top lane or in the jungle. So it's really unclear until AL makes any further picks down the road. So right now, exHCL is gonna have to pick a very strong jungler and a very strong a laner that can lane against Shen,
Mm-hmm.
so that they don't fall into a lane Shen without expecting it.
And the two quick pickups from I feel like I just need to like shorten it to like HCL
Yeah,
or something. I'm just gonna say HCL. exHCL has so much.
no flow, no
It's a
flow.
mouthful. It's a mouthful. HCL is going to pick up a quick Graves and Soraka. I'm assuming that's going to be their bot lane. I don't know how the EU West has the. Do they really do the Soraka mid thing, or do they not?
No, they don't.
Okay.
But they could have practiced it in secrecy and maybe pull it out right now, since it's quite an important match.
Mm-hmm.
So we may see that, but most likely not. It'll probably be Graves Soraka bottom, which is one of the strongest bottoms in the game. Graves being tanky with his passive, Soraka just making him even more tanky.
Yeah, that Astral Blessing does tend to add a lot of armor to whomever she heals, so that would be really scary down there. It looks like they could be going against a Janna Kog'Maw bot, but Kog'Maw again could be played AP mid, but he scales very strongly late game either way, really. So just a strong pickup overall. Another ambiguous pick, kind of. You could also consider Jaina an ambiguous pick just because we've seen AP Jaina before. It definitely has worked. And but I'd assume Jaina would be support Shen either jungle or top. Kog'Maw could go mid or bottom, but I think EU, I'm pretty sure Kog'Maw is mostly an AD carry.
Yeah, they do that. I've never seen EU play around with ambiguous heroes much. They usually just pick what is expected to be picked and just build a strong team comp around that. And they're just trolling right now. They know Urgot's banned.
I'd hope so. gonna update the little title for the broadcast. All right. Olaf and Nautilus. Nautilus, I've seen him a couple times, a handful of times in this tournament so far, and he's so good. He just scales so well into late game that he's got so much CC on his side. He's a very very scary champion to play about. Play. I gotta find words still. He's a very scary champion to play against. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Olaf and Nautilus, two very strong picks. Both are very beefy heroes, somewhat of hard to kill. And Nautilus right now considered one of the best junglers. The amount of CC he can provide when ganking is unrivaled by any other hero, and it's just exceptional. And the Olaf pick, that's Olaf top against Shen. So personally, I don't think Shen has an issue against Olaf. I'm pretty sure Shen beats Olaf in the lane simply because Olaf relies on his health and mana to survive the lane and has decent sustain but not too much, and nothing compared to the sustain that Shen can provide for himself with the Vorpal Blade regeneration as well as his tankiness. So if that lane comes to happen, Olaf against Shen, I'll definitely give the edge to Shen in that.
So I guess we're gonna see a jungle Shin here, correct?
Um,
That's what it's looking like.
Actually, yeah, it's most likely jungle Shen with Lulu top. But
Okay.
Lulu can jungle as well, though, so that's kind of because I've jungled Lulu a bit, and
Lulu can support. Janna can AP mid. Janna can support. Like these champions can go just about anywhere, which is kind of an interesting thing to see. No champion on the Absolute Legends team right now has like one set position, which is it's pretty interesting to see. So I'm gonna have to look at some of their spells. We're gonna have to figure that out whenever they all lock in and they all trade around and stuff. But as it stands now, it looks like HCL is gonna be rocking Graves, Soraka down bot, Nautilus probably in the jungle, Olaf up top, and they are kind of cycling through some AP mids that they could choose here. They lingered on Galio, lingered on Karthus now. 1 second left. Let's see who they lock in as. Gonna be a Karthus.
I think that's an excellent pick from HCL going with Karthus. Karthus combined with Nautilus in middle lane. Whoever is in that lane and gets walled off will die immediately, no matter what. It's such a powerful combo, and I'm curious to see how Lulu's gonna do in that respect.
Looks like Lulu is going to be the mid champion for Absolute Legends, or top. Vladimir could also go mid, but those are going to be your two AP carries. You're going to have Lulu and Vladimir. Kog'Maw and Jan are going to be down bot with Shin in the jungle. Karthus is going to be mid, Nautilus in the jungle, Graves and Soraka down bot, Olaf up top. So, or maybe they switched. Maybe Janna's going to be mid now.
We're not sure just yet. They're just toying around with us, but just for those that are curious, the AP player for Absolute Legend is extinct, and right now they have Ultra Face for middle lane, but Ultra Face is in fact a Smurf of extinct. So Absolute Legends is playing with a complete lineup. They're not using any subs for those who were wondering because of the name difference, but Ultra Face is extinct in a Smurf, just to clear things up.
Okay, so this is going to be AP Lulu mid, it looks like. Now, the matchup between AP Lulu and Karthus, how do you feel that goes? Who's got the upper hand?
Normally, that's a matchup that's considered to go heavily in Lulu's favor because she can be so fast and dodge everything that Karthus has to throw at him just because of her mobility and ability to bully Karthus in the lane. But again, every lane really comes down to how well the jungler can influence it, how well the jungler will have pressure, if he's going to be successful with a gank, or is he going to ward and little aspects like that. So if it's a one-on-one exchange with no jungle pressure, Lulu will win that lane. But Karthus has the ability to just farm from very, very far away. So if he chooses to do so and is in this game, he should be able to last it no problem, even if getting zoned out.
Yeah, and one of the best things that you can say about Lulu is that she can also stay kind of at a decent range, and she can help picks a really far minion away from her, and then when she casts her glitter lance, it'll shoot even further. So she can get an exorbitant amount of range from her little combo there, and still poke Karthus however far away he wants to be really. And then with the speed of her shield that it gets her, she can also kind of run away from the lay wastes. So it'll be an interesting matchup. I do think Lulu will have the advantage there. Both junglers coming out for mid ganks are super strong. I mean, Shadow Dash is a great taunt. Nautilus has Dredge Line. He's got his Riptide Slow. He has his passive Immobilize. He has his Depth Charge. He's got a lot of CC coming out of the jungle. So he's going to have to try to lock down picks to get those kills off, and in addition to Wall of Pain, you know. So Lulu could be in a little bit of trouble, but so could Karthus. Both these junglers are very, very strong in that respect. How about top lane? Vladimir versus Olaf. Vladimir is going to be trying to sustain a lot. Olaf is not going to let him do that with all of his reckless swings. Who do you think has the advantage?
Now, that lane actually comes down to strictly skill. Who can outskill the other player? Because typically you see Vladimir's taking heal over ignite, but since he's against Olaf and he knows that Olaf's going to be taking ignite every single time, he's taking ignite instead because if he were to take heal, Olaf's ignite would simply tear right through him. So the matchup consists of Olaf maxing a skill that is in order with the runes instead of that Vlad's running. So say Vladimir's running a high amount of armor, Olaf will have to be maxing his reckless swing. But if he's running, like, say, just armor runes, just armor seals and whatnot, he'll be maxing his undertow over the reckless swing actually, and that's typically what you see from Olaf on top lane. They max the slow as well because it becomes more spammable. It actually does more damage, and the slow becomes progressively stronger, as well as maxing E costs a lot of health, especially early on. I believe rank 5 of it costs 160, so that's about one spell from Vladimir. So he's killing himself actually trying to hit him. So maxing E is not the best thing to do in the early game.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how this matchup plays out. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Absolute Legends versus exHCL in the Reign of Gaming International Invitational. We are your casters here. I am Pluto's Not a Planet, joined by Crumbs from Team Curse, the highly, highly ranked jungler, solo queue jungler. So thank you for joining me again, Crumbs. We have another great match after this. If you guys are going to be sticking with us, it is going to be EG versus CLG, the brand new EG, which I think is going to be the best match of the day.
Yeah, I think it will, but we'll just have to see when we see it, of course.
Yes, indeed. So we're loading in here. We're almost done. Hopefully, if Young Buck can finish loading up, there we go. And again, this is round 4 of the tournament, or round 3. This is round 3. So whoever wins here, whatever team wins here, is into the quarterfinals essentially of this tournament, and they will get a free trip to San Francisco to duke it out live in a nice little round robin for a $20,000 prize pool. So this should be a lot of fun. exHCL. There's just, I don't know. It's a mouthful. That's all I'm going to say. To say it in the midst of a team fight, it's not going to be fun. So HCL is pretty much what we're going with. It looks like there's going to be some, they're just going to look at each other mid. I don't think any one person is really going to do anything. I'm pretty sure both teams are going to play a little passively. Olaf is up top. Kagmal is down his own tri-brush along with Graves. So just, a couple members of each team just dancing around the mid lane, not quite going to do anything. Soraka did pick up an early vision ward, so she's looking to counter ward a little bit. And Soraka, oh, no, her ward is not going to be killed there. But AL is going to know that there is a ward in that brush, so they're just warning their friendly jungler Nautilus that that's not a very good place to gank from.
Exactly, and now Nautilus is a jungler that usually needs to start on blue side, and will do so because he has the help of Karthus and Soraka, so he's not going to take any damage whatsoever from doing this early camp. As well as if Karthus decides to provide enough help, he should be able to clear it without using Smite, allowing him to gank top really, really early with double buffs and essentially full health. And we'll see the same from Shen. If he gets enough damage on the red buff so that he doesn't have to use Smite, he should be able to gank before 4 minutes.
Yes, and it looks like double golems are going to be taken by Kog'Maw and Janna, or they may be deterred a little bit. Graves and Soraka coming to try to bully them away from it. Shin is going to get a nice leash for his red buff. He's going to take that and perhaps look for. You think he's going to look for an early gank down bot?
I don't think so. Bottom lane,
There's a two
um,
tanky.
they could definitely go for the kill. But Janna leveled up her shield first, which doesn't help for ganking whatsoever. So most likely not. I think he's gonna go be looking out to help the top lane, since top lane Olaf is a hero that needs to be shut down if he starts playing too aggressively. So we'll most likely see Shen going to the top lane as his first spot of ganking. And he can't gank middle because after finishing blue buff, to come middle would have to imply that he come through the ward that was placed earlier by Soraka. So the only plausible path would be top lane. And that's what we'll most likely see right now.
Alright, and Nautilus looks like he is going back to his wolves. He's going to do a nice full jungle clear, activating his shield to get that AoE damage and mitigate some of the damage of the wolves. Meanwhile, down bot, Graves and Soraka just kind of using their tankiness and pushing Kog'Maw and Janna back to their own tower for now. Up top, Young Buck just kind of harassing a little bit with his transfuse. The CS is pretty even, 10 CS to 9 CS right now. But I would imagine you would probably see that in the favor of Vladimir as the game progresses, because he's able to last hit so well from very far away while sustaining himself at the same time.
Now Shen gonna be looking for the gank. As soon as Olaf extends, there goes Shen. Olaf's gonna have to blow Ghost here.
And he does blow it prematurely. He throws an undertow and gets a nice slow off Shin, preventing the shadow dash. That was a great undertow right there. He kind of goes in. He's playing with fire right now, but he knows that Nautilus is right behind him. Nautilus at slightly low health, but he knew that they would be okay in that 2v2 situation. But no team wants to engage just yet. So Shin pulls off. It looks like he might meet Nautilus here in this top jungle if he decides to go to double golems, or he's just waiting for Olaf to overextend again.
Nautilus gonna continue to do his jungler. He is so low that Shen with one taunt could easily take him down. But he wants to go for Olaf again because he knows that Olaf just used his ghost.
Yeah, it looks like he is. It looked like he was going to recall, but it looks like he's going to stick around. He comes in for another one. He misses the taunt. A fantastic juke by Olaf, just juking back and showing some skills right there. Not getting that taunt off, because that probably would have been really, really bad.
Yeah, that was a great taunt, a great dodge by Olaf, making sure to stay away from Shen. He knew that Shen was going to try to pick him off in his predicted path to run away, and he just didn't have none of it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic juke. He pretty much just broke Shen's ankles right there, going hard in the paint essentially. He's got a big minion wave with him up top. He's going to undertow, get these creeps, and potentially go back, I'd assume, because he is very, very low on mana right now. And yes, he does head back. He has about 600 gold to his name. I'd assume he picked up maybe a Doran's Blade or a shield, or perhaps maybe get some magic resist to counteract this Vladimir up top. He does get the Null Magic Mantle. He's going to build those into Merc Treads, I'm sure. Shin coming from a gank down bot. The Flash and the Zephyr from Janna will slow down the Soraka. She gets taunted and exhausted, but she gets a nice heal off on herself, giving her a lot of armor to work with here. Graves does flash onto the Janna to try to pick him up, and with the Ignite, Janna doesn't quite go down, and Eye of the Storm will save her. And now Shin is going to pursue this Graves, get a nice taunt over the wall, but Kog'Maw is not really there to follow up, and Graves is just going to be able to walk out here, quick draw over the wall, and be okay. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to watch that. Something did happen in mid with this Lulu.
Nautilus came in from the left side, and they managed to take her down with the exhaust on Karthus. Again, Wall of Pain, once it lands, you got a death wish on you if you're playing middle lane against Nautilus.
Yes, indeed. That was a quick death right there. Let me get back to live. There we go. Perfect. So the magic resist looks like he's going to try to help out this Olaf a lot. He already has 77 MR right now, so he's definitely running those MR runes. He's got the no magic mantle, so he's sitting pretty right now, and he's bullying Vladimir out of lane. Vladimir could go down. Yes, one tick of Ignite will take Vladimir down through the health potion. Vladimir did burn his Ignite back as a counter Ignite onto Olaf, but Olaf is going to get ganked up here by Shen. He's very, very low health. He only has about 300 health. Let's see if Shen can get a kill here. There's a Vorpal Blade. There's the taunt, but a nice Ragnarok will allow Olaf to escape from that.
Yeah, and Olaf getting the jump on Vladimir, able to take him down, and as he starts stacking magic with this from that kill he just got, he's gonna be able to increasingly have an easier time against Vladimir. And he picks up the longsword right now, which is most likely gonna be built towards a
Hex Drinker.
Hex Drinker
And then
early
Maul
on.
Malamortis, yeah, definitely.
Yes, exactly. Hex Drinker really helps him out in the laning phase against Vladimir. Extremely powerful ability to just completely block his damage, especially the one that's coming from the Hemo Plague, which is going to be the most important source of damage from Vlad. So once that item gets completed, Vlad's going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, so 52 CS, looking at the CS differences, 52 CS on Graves to 51 CS on Kog'Maw, so they are both fairly even. Kog'Maw is going to go back right now. Graves has made a trip back, picked up Berserker's Greaves, and also a Doran's Blade. Kog'Maw looks like he's going to pick up a straight Wriggle's Lantern. So, what do you think is going through his mind right now? Why did he pick up Wriggle's Lantern rather than some Doran's or some boots?
They want to have some sort of Baron presence and Dragon presence, which is something that just Shen can't provide. Shen doesn't have a good Baron clearing, unlike other junglers like say Shyvana and Nocturne, and neither does Lulu. So having a team with at least one Wriggles on your team is really going to help them out when they choose to do Dragon as a group, and that's really the whole logic behind it.
Okay. Well, that's definitely going to help out. Kagamo is going to be able to rain down that percentage-based damage onto Dragon or Baron, and also rely on some Madrid's Blood Razor procs, which are going to be really helpful in those
Yeah.
situations.
Also, I didn't mention though that the fact he gets Madraz because of the troubles that he's having in the laning phase against a sustain lane. When you get Wriggles in the laning phase, you typically get it when you have a non-sustain lane against a sustain lane. So with Janna, he doesn't have anything to keep him healed, and getting a Wriggles is going to do that by a method of life stealing. So that way he can actually stay out in the lane as much as Soraka Graves, so he doesn't get shoved out.
Definitely a smart purchase by him. The Living Artilleries are doing a lot of work chipping down this Graves, but again, he does have Soraka there to heal him up. Her heals are healing for about, I think, 2 to 300 right now. 210, and they're granting 65 bonus armor, which is nothing to scoff at all. Olaf's still up top, just bullying the hell out of this Vladimir. They both do have Ignite up right now, so if Olaf would like to tower dive, he could, but it looks like Young Buck is going to count his blessings right now and just go back. And in the meantime, Olaf is going to push this lane up top and potentially put some damage on this tower. I don't think he's going to be able to kill it by any means, though.
It would have taken quite a bit of coordination for AL to pull this off, but if they baited Olaf to fight this, they potentially could have gotten a kill with Shen, but I don't think they tried it because of the threat that Karthus imposes on their team right now. Karthus did manage to pick up an assist in middle lane against Lulu, and that's making him very powerful right now, even out CSing Lulu by a margin of around 13 creeps, so he's very powerful right now. And I think that's why Vladimir is playing a bit scared, because he knows if he tries to fight Olaf, it will never be a 1v1 situation, because they have Karthus and Soraka with just an ultimate now, while he only has Shen, so
Yeah.
it would never be a fair fight.
Yeah, both teams do have that kind of global presence there. Nautilus does flash to get the dredge line, but a nice counter flash from Kog'Maw will put him just out of range of it, and putting him just out of danger as well. So Nautilus is going to pull back. A lot of pings going on to the Shen here in mid just to warn his team. Karthus did go back, and he ended up picking up a Rod of Ages and a Catalyst. I'm assuming we're going to see a Rod of Ages built out of that, while Lulu has a Kage's Lucky Pick. Deathfire Grasp, is that a natural kind of AP Lulu item?
It is, it's a very good item. Now they're gonna dive onto Vladimir. Shen ults it, and that should get the kill, but Karthus does have ultimate.
And no Sanguine pull up for 10 seconds. If he can, oh, he sustains a nice transfuse. That's the only thing that saved him right there, and that potion. He didn't really have any stacks of Tides of Blood, so the potion wasn't healing for any additional. But man, that was a really close call.
Yeah, that was really quick thinking by him, and
Graves almost going down bot here. I think he is still going to go down. He turned around, tried to get a last word in. He didn't have collateral damage, but he could have tried to buckshot before that shield came back up. But he wasn't quite able to do it, and he's taken down by Kog'Maw and Janna.
quite a lot of action happening in these lanes. They're all playing very aggressive against each other, except for middle, because Karthus is able to just farm away, while Lulu used to be getting somewhat pushed around by the jungler, but now that she has blue buff, she's able to do as she pleases, speeding herself up, slowing the enemy down, and just shielding herself from any damage that Karthus has to give to her.
Yeah, she's doing really, really well. She really, really is thriving with that blue buff. It's definitely good to see. It looks like Kog'Maw went back, picked up a Brawler's Glove. He's going to build that into a Zeal, kind of a normal build we see around here in these EU West parts. The Zeal Phantom Dancer, not the Zeal Wriggles Lantern, and then building it into maybe a BF Sword item right after that, or just going straight Phantom Dancer Wriggles. Both are great items and both are great choices. It's all about that Dragon and Baron control, but as of now, 12 minutes in, we haven't really seen much Dragon pressure. I think we're going to see some on the docket very soon. You believe?
Potentially, but a kill would have to be happening first, because there's no way that any team at this level would be completely oblivious to the enemy doing Dragon. So I think a kill is in order before anybody makes a move on Dragon.
It doesn't look like, I'm just going through the going through everything. No Wriggles or no Oracles purchased just yet. No, I would expect to see one on Nautilus or Shen maybe around this time, so they can pressure Dragon and stuff a little bit more, but no one has quite bought it.
And Nautilus did get poked out quite a bit.
And there's a Shadow Dash across two enemy
taunt.
champions, catching Nautilus and Karthus in its wake. Graves does quick draw in. The Lulu ult going onto the Shen, knocking up the Karthus, able to pick up that kill as well. Janna ultimate just healing her teammates. Here comes the Karthus ult, trying to do some damage. The collateral damage has already been used from Graves, so he has no more big poke like that. He's going to come around the side through the Tri-Brush, maybe to get a nice, a buckshot on the Lulu would be so clutch right now, but he decides against it and kind of pulls back a little bit. I guess he feels he would have been a little bit in too much danger, so he pulls back.
And this is going to be a free Dragon for Absolute Legends, just because of the fact that they have the Wriggles, so they are able to take it down quite quickly. Combine that with the lifesteal that Shen provides to his teammates with just the Vorpal Blade. Any target that is afflicted with Vorpal Blade, anyone attacking it will get health back for every auto attack. So that's going to be ensuring that his teammates stay healthy while they do Dragon.
In the meantime, it looks like HCL is going to respond with a quick tower kill down bot. They're going to be expecting to have a nice big fight for the next Dragon now that they have that kind of lane control and lane pressure. HCL warding exceptionally well right now. They've got wards just about everywhere on the map, and they have vision just about everywhere that they need vision, and it's looking pretty good for them right now. They are down 3 kills, they're down 2k gold, but as far as warding is concerned, they're doing a fantastic job. But the warding is also something that they're warding so well. If Shin were to pick up an Oracles right now, you know, he doesn't know it yet, but it would pay off really quickly.
I think he's just gonna go for a wit's end right here. He can't afford to go for some damage, and he does just that. And up top lane, they've been shoving Vlad so hard that he hasn't had the opportunity to really ward at all. It's not beneficial for him to ward when he's been pushed so hard.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to dive onto Lulu here. She burns her ultimate, and so does Shin to come in and save her, and it looks like he does get it in time. No, the last lay waste will take her down. Shin going to try to do some damage onto the Karthus. Graves decides a quick draw in. He does not have his ultimate up. He did use it right there. He could have tried to take down that Shin, but nothing they can do to get a fleeing Shin right there.
And now that's a one-man down for Absolute Legends, which is going to be potentially a free Dragon, a free blue buff from HCL, because AL's blue buff is up, so they could easily take that, especially with the power that Olaf has right now over Vladimir. He's significantly stronger as well, as 2 levels higher.
He's got
and they have
116
5
MR.
Yeah, and he has 50 armor, 95 after the chain vest purchase.
That is going to be wicked. Vladimir, you said Vladimir has 98 armor now. Okay, so 98 armor from Vladimir, and he's doing exactly what you said. Well, he's maxing Undertow first. He hasn't gotten any points into Vicious Strikes yet, which is kind of interesting. So he's just relying on Undertow and Reckless Swings to do all of his damage. But it's working out well for him so far, so I guess he cannot complain. They do take down that mid turret here. HCL going to siege the second turret and potentially take it down pretty quickly. No responses yet from Absolute Legends. They're kind of spread out. Kog'Maw is bot. Shin was just bot. Janna was just back, and no ultimate on Shin at this point in time.
Yeah, and that right there, that tower defense by Lulu was exceptional. One picks into a creep into the slow from far range. Almost killed Graves, who was taking some tower aggro. So HCL is going to be playing really careful right now. They are in the lead. It feels like they're in the lead, to be honest. They took some towers down, but even though they're not in the gold advantage, how the game is looking, it feels to me like they're ahead.
Yeah. They've just they may have paid for some of their aggressive mistakes, but it's still kind of putting Absolute Legends. I think Absolute Legends may feel a little bit on the ropes.
Yeah, it feels like HCL is in the driver's seat this game.
Most definitely, most definitely. And it's the fact that Absolute Legends is able to see that they're up in kills. They can't see how close the gold difference is. Only we can. So that's something mental to kind of think about on their part. But the gold is very, very close right now. That dragon was pivotal, and the 3 towers on the side of HCL was also really, really clutch.
Yeah, that's 3 tower advantage to 0, and right now a yank on Kog'Maw. That's gonna be a dead Kog'Maw.
I love the Requiem just at the beginning to get the party started. The dredge line does hit on the Cogmaw. He is going to be immobilized by the Nautilus passive, and he goes down to a nice collateral damage. The kill actually being put onto Nautilus there. I don't think that was entirely as intended, but it's not a bad thing. At least Soraka didn't pick up the kill. The red buff actually stolen by Shen with a great smite there. HCL was trying to steal it, but Shen came in and said nope.
On top lane, Vlad's damage on Olaf is essentially 0.
Really?
Yeah. Watch that.
Yeah,
It's no
wow.
damage.
And he just
does
took
no
a lot of damage. So right now that what does he have now? He has 118 MR is just doing work against Young Buck. Lulu does have an Abyssal Scepter, so in a team fight, she is going to be helping out her friend Vladimir and herself as well. So that'll be something to keep in mind. It'll lower the magic resist of Olaf by about 20, bringing him to just under 100 MR, assuming he doesn't go back right now and buy a boatload more MR. Let's see what he purchases.
The thing is, Olaf is able to buy so much MR because AL can't capitalize on it. Because they're running a team comp that deals primarily magic damage. Shen is strictly magic damage. Lulu is magical damage, as well as Janna, Vladimir, and Kog'Maw deals a large amount of magic damage himself. So Olaf is able to purchase all these magic resist items very early on and essentially take no punishment from it because it will benefit him throughout the entire game. If they're running, say, Vladimir as the only caster in top lane and everybody else was a physical damage hero, the result that would happen from Olaf stacking MR this early would be detrimental, especially if they decide to group up for a team fight.
Yeah, and Janna does decide to pick up an Oracles there. She's cleared a couple of wards now. I don't think anyone on HCL has an Oracles yet. Nope.
Yeah, Soraka just bought it but hasn't
Soraka
drank
just
it.
bought it. Okay, gotcha. And Olaf is going to run into 3 members of Absolute Legends right here, but his Ragnarok, it looks like it's going to save him away from the Glitter Lance slow and the taunt from Shin. So that's not quite the person they wanted to walk into that brush who can get out of all that CC. If anyone else had walked into that brush, they would be a dead man right now, and it would be a free dragon for them. So they're a little disappointed, but can't complain. They have Olaf no longer has an ultimate. Everyone on Absolute Legends is still going to be rocking their ultimate, so this is going to be a pivotal dragon fight right here. Absolute Legends decide to start the dragon. The Wall of Pain comes out to try to deter them, also kind of helping them out a little bit. Trying to chase on. It looks like Shen wants to get a nice taunt off. He's the first in line. He does flash and get a nice taunt off onto the Graves. The Graves quick draw away, but Hemo Plague comes down. It's going to be doing a lot of work, increasing a lot of damage. Olaf is able to take down Shen. Karthus goes down very quickly, going to lay out Requiem to help his teammates. Vladimir goes down to Graves' auto attacks, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange in the favor of exHCL, and perhaps a dragon if they can still continue to fight this. But
Soraka
everyone's so
sustain
low. Yeah,
in
Soraka
that battle
pivotal.
is just absolutely so monumental. She's being able to keep her team alive with ultimate, with the heal. Actually, they don't have a heal, but just all her toolkits able to keep all of them alive. And
Wow,
Shen
and
ultimate.
Shen ultimate is going to
Oh
turn
my
this fight
God.
completely around. They had no idea that Shen was back up already, and they are going to pay for their mistake. And there it goes. Now that's a dragon for Absolute Legends. Easy.
Great turn of events from Absolute Legends. I was kind of wondering why they were staying in a 3-on-4 engage on Dragon when they had no sustain against a Soraka, and questions have been answered. That's why Shen ultimate was still up, and they managed to pick up 3 kills on the Dragon, so that was huge for them. as well as
I'm
the
gonna just
oracles
go
that
back and
Soraka
watch that
just
because that
bought.
was beautiful.
They got the oracles too, and Carl got a bunch of kills from that.
Yeah, Slepper got Janna shield, Lulu shield, and Shin ultimate right there. His health increased almost to full right there, and he was able to just clean up everyone. Just such a great bait right there.
He can go for a Phantom Dancer right here, or almost an Infinity Edge, I think, right off the bat.
Let's see what he decides to do. Gets a BF sword. He has
Yeah,
600 gold left. He could buy the he isn't quite able to do it because he does not have a cloak of agility, which is going to cost 830. He needs about I think 1235 gold to be able to
yeah, that's
purchase
right.
an Infinity Edge outright because it's going to be 830 plus 435 or whatever the heck it is. But about 1200 gold. We'll just go ahead and say that. So not quite able to pick up the Infinity Edge outright, but he's got the makings of it, and that puts him about the same as Graves right now. Graves also has his BF sword and pickaxe and zeal. The only difference being Kog'Maw does have a Wriggles, which is going to help a lot with his sustain. Graves just relying purely on Soraka's sustain at this point.
But Cog being the strongest carry right now in this game, sitting at 5 kills and 165 CS, which is just tied with Graves. So he's going to be dealing a lot of damage, especially with those double buffs. So if AL wants to fight, this should be the time right now, since Shen's ultimate is about to come up, but they may just pressure Baron instead with Karthus.
Shin down bot, but like you said, he does have that global ultimate. He can be in a fight in as quick as a rabbit, essentially. Vladimir up top. It does have his pool up, so he'd be able to dodge any dredge line that may come his way. But it really, HCL is kind of turning the enemy jungle into their own camping grounds right now. And it's not what Absolute Legends wants.
They're pushing his 5 and taking advantage of the fact that Shen's not there.
The damage onto Karthus is going to take him down. The Hemo Plague will definitely sign his death warrant. The ultimate comes onto Kog'Maw along with the Lulu ultimate, the Janna ultimate, the Janna shield. That is one big Kog'Maw, and he is doing a lot of work. Vladimir does go down, trying to use his living artillery to pick up the Nautilus. He may just be out of range. Let's see if he can get one more on. Yes, he does. Nautilus is taken down by a very long-range living artillery. Kog'Maw continues to chase, but he is very much out of mana because he's used so many stacks of living artillery right now. And this could be a Baron here for Absolute Legends. There's no jungler on the side of exHCL, so Smite is not a problem right now.
Yeah, and with the Wriggles that they have on Cog, they're able to do this. That's exactly why they bought it, just so they could actually have some sort of Baron presence for themselves, while Lulu one-shotting Graves. Wow.
That was not good for Graves. Graves goes down very quickly, and unless Olaf can get a nice undertow here, this is going to be a Baron for Absolute Legends. A little too early there. I don't think it's going to be off cooldown by the time it gets down. No, there's a Smite, and Absolute Legends picks up a nice team fight and a nice Baron right there. I'm gonna go back and just watch the Lulu burst real quickly. It was just 2 spells. That's it. That's pretty wicked. So Lulu doing work with her Abyssal Scepter. She has her Blasting Wand. She did just turn that into a Deathfire Grasp, so her burst is going to go even more through the roof. She's going to be able to deal a big chunk of any target's health along with her her traditional burst. It's not going to be good for any member of exHCL, especially when she has Baron. And it looks like Absolute Legends has taken over the driver's seat. We were kind of saying exHCL looked like they were making all the aggressive plays. They were being the ones on the offense, but now it's completely switched around. Absolute Legends has secured a few team fights, and now they are driving this game right now. Using their Baron, just kind of pressuring all lanes. Janna's still cleaning up wards. Pretty sure that Oracles is probably paid for itself at this point in time. And Absolute Legend just going to pressure mid again. Shen ultimate is just about up, so he's going to do his split pushing Shen thing, go down bot, and be in a team fight if he's ever needed. Putting it onto Kog'Maw has been the most clutch thing I think I've ever seen. The Janna shield, the Lulu shield, the Lulu ultimate, the Shen ultimate. They are playing protect the Kog'Maw right now, and it is absolutely working.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, and I think that's one of the reasons they banned Morgana. They didn't want to play against this, but they failed to realize that Lulu can perform essentially the same role that Morgana can in protecting her AD carry to just a degree you've never even thought possible.
Yeah, I mean, if there was like maybe a zillion somewhere to protect Kog'Maw too, I would just be flabbergasted. And all the while they're protecting Kog'Maw, we just saw the burst potential of Lulu without her Deathfire Grasp on Graves. So yeah, the enemy team is focusing Kog'Maw. They're doing a lot of damage to Kog'Maw. They're trying to take out the Kog'Maw, but at the same time, Lulu is able to burst a lot of the team with her Glitter Lance. You know, it's a nice skill shot that goes over multiple targets, and it doesn't deteriorate with targets hit. It's always going to be its max damage no matter who it hits. You can only be hit by one of the Glitter Lance bolts, of course, but still, it's semi-unexpected damage when you're trying to focus the Kog'Maw so hard. You could get that tunnel vision and still take a lot of damage from Lulu at the same time.
Exactly, and even then you're going to take a lot of damage from Kog'Maw because whoever comes at Kog'Maw is going to get hit because Kog'Maw is going to be safe fighting the Olaf on a somewhat of a 1v1 you could say, but he is going to have essentially 4 shields on himself, so that's never going to be a fair fight for whoever wants to go against the Kog'Maw. And from his range, he's going to be able to take down absolutely everybody on HCL's team right now.
And exHCL looks like they're just kind of storming down mid. Absolute Legend's going to do some damage to the tower up top and now go back. They realize the danger that they are in right now. Graves is going to join the party in mid. They're going to take down that tier 2 mid turret, but then they're going to back off right now. In the meantime, Shin is just kind of soloing Dragon. He may get caught here by exHCL, but no, he's going to finish it off quickly with a nice smite and shadow dash over the wall and be just fine.
Yeah, Smite, Sunfire Cape, and Witch End gonna allow him to kill things very quickly. And the reason for Sunfire Cape is so that Shen, as many of you know, is a hero that kills single target and only has single target damage. He has no ability to hit AoEs. That is not heroes. Only his taunt only hits heroes, so it can't be used to farm creep. So when he gets Sunfire Cape, that allows him to push a creep wave very quickly, much quicker than if you had to attack each one individually and use spells on each one individually. So Sunfire allows him to split push much faster, and that's what he's doing. He's going by himself so that his team can go on a 4v5 engage and simply have him teleport in. And he can just do that because no matter what HCL throws at Kog'Maw, he's going to stay alive long enough for Shen to be able to teleport to him.
Yeah, and once he gets there, the party's going to get started, and the Sunfire Cape's going to be dealing damage, the taunt's going to do great. Everything is going to go in the favor of Absolute Legends if they get the perfect team fight that they need. And so far, the past few team fights, they have gotten exactly what they wanted. Protecting the Kog'Maw is just working wonders for them at this point. And then Hemo Plague, you know, adding that, what is that, I think 14% extra damage. I think it may have gotten changed, 12% extra damage now.
Like a zillion
it
times.
did get nerfed, yeah. So 12% extra damage on top of all that. I mean, it's looking real good for Absolute Legends. I'll go ahead and say that. And he's got a lot of armor. The Warden's Mail and Sunfire Cape gives him a lot of armor. He gets a good magic resist buff from the Wit's End after he gets those 4 auto attacks off. But I wouldn't say there's any one person really on exHCL that he's scared of right now.
Yeah, the reason behind him getting Randuin, it gives him the CDR, but primarily Randuin is going to be used to stop whoever comes in the front, whoever tries to go on Kog'Maw. Oh my god.
Oh, that burst. That was just Lulu, I think.
Yeah, it was just her.
She DFG'd, got her Glitter Lance, and did the picks thing, and wow, that is almost a dead Karthus.
Yeah, you almost got one shot. I did not see that coming.
That was some wicked burst right there, and now it looks like Absolute Legends is going to transition to this top lane, Siege's top turret, and probably take it down fairly quickly before exHCL can respond. They definitely want to. Nautilus just rip-tiding just for fun around them, trying to hit them with the last little ring of that slow, but he doesn't quite get it, and they're forced to give up that tier 2 top turret. But man, that burst from Lulu is just outrageous at this point in time. Almost, we've already seen her basically one-shot at Graves, and now we just saw her basically one-shot at Karthus. So the entire time Kog'Maw is being protected, Lulu is still doing so much work. Shin gonna do his thing down bottom, still farming. Shin has 181 CS. His jungling partner, I suppose you could say, is 127 on Nautilus. 248 CS on Karthus to the 221 CS on Lulu, so both of those players CSing extremely well. The Abyssal Scepter, the DFG, needlessly large, and the Blasting Wand. Lulu should have, let's see if she needs how much more gold. She needs about 1,000 more gold to build into a Rabadon's Death Cap, so that's going to be just a little bit, unless she gets a lot more farm under her belt. The Death Cap and Rod of Age is already being built onto Karthus, but it looks like Olaf decides to ghost in and is forced to Ragnarok out. That's not what he wants at all. The depth charge does come out and hit the Cogmaul. Graves is getting taken very, very low with the Ignite. Karthus decides to go in there and gets blown up so quickly. Polymorph from Graves, and the last Glitter Lance hit will take him down. Soraka goes down, Nautilus goes down, and Olaf is the last hope they have here. But everyone is in hot pursuit. And they're just going to look like take down the turret, take the inhibitor, and potentially take down a Nexus turret. They have 30
That'll most
seconds
likely
unbated.
be for a Baron, a inhibitor, and a Baron, because that was a 4 for none exchange. They could go for the finish if they please, but I think it's awfully risky since the spawn timers, everybody on HCL is under 20 seconds for the spawn, so this is quite ballsy of them to do this.
They're going to at least take down this one turret, I would imagine. At least, yeah.
I think they should have gone for Baron instead.
They're going to go for 2? No way they're going to go for the win. They are going to go. They're just going to focus on the Nexus as much as possible. And are they going to do it? Yes, they do. Wow. So that was a ballsy move, and it paid off for them.
Impressive game. Absolutely impressive.
So there you go. Absolute Legends taking this first game of AL versus exHCL. We're going to move swiftly into the second game. As soon as I get an invite, we'll go ahead and get that for you. But in the meantime, check out our sponsors, reignofgaming.net, lawpro.com, to check out cool guides, videos, the tournament listing, everything else you could possibly need. We have been your casters for this first game and for the rest of the games today. I am Pluto's Not a Planet, joined by Crumbs from Curse. Thanks again for joining me.